Welcome to our channel. Today we make emergency video because of critical situation in Ukraine. As you know, Ukraine relies on a military assistance from the United States and other countries to fight against much more powerful Russian army. Despite the announced 40 billion financial help to Ukraine from a while ago, roughly only 2% of it reached Ukraine just recently. Today, few Ukrainian militaries from the different regions and the front lines reached us, describing the same problem and situation. They are outpowered roughly 1 to 10 by Russian army. As we know, most American people support Ukraine, and we appreciate it as well as any help, of course. But since Ukrainians who are citizens of this country and paying taxes, we have rights to ask question why all of this taxpayer money not reaching Ukraine yet. It's already 5th month of the war. Ukraine is not getting promised by President Biden administration military assistance, and really in a bad situation now. A lot of losses and casualties. In the following video, one of Ukrainian officers shared his thoughts on the current situation.
Одразу попереджаю, що це відео буде не про перемогу і не про зраду. Це то, що є. Ніяких таємниць в тому нема.
Unfortunately, we have a critical situation today and completely depend on military assistance from the US and its politicians. The war is right behind my back. And every night we see from our trenches how Russian rockets are being launched and are flying over our heads.
Які отам от злітають і в нас над головами летять в наші міста. І вони вбивають.
They are killing dozens of kids and hundreds of civilians every day. They have powerful artillery that can reach out to big cities.
Це ціна цього зволікання.
This is the price of the delay. We have to pay it in blood.
Оце все, що я маю. Оце все, що я маю. Це мій
This is all I have, my gun.
Я не можу збити ту ракету, яка летить наді мною. Не можу я її збити.
And I can't shoot down rockets flying over my head. I just don't have anything to shoot it down with. We will win. We are going to win without doubts. But we are not expendable and are dying every day at the front lines.
Але дайте нам зброю. Скільки можна тягнути цю
How long can we wait? Please send us weapons. How long are you going to postpone it? We have been fighting for many months and we are bleeding now.
Ми вже скільки місяців ми вже не вдома, не бачили своїх дружин, своїх дітей. Скільки це може продовжуватись? Кожного дня зволікання коштує нашої крові і крові наших цивільних людей, яких бомбардують. Ви бачите, що Росія перейшла відкрито, вона просто відкрито перейшла до терористичних методів ведення війни.
Russia has already started a terror war, openly shelling civilian shopping centers, crowded places, to spill as much Ukrainian blood as they can.
Не думаючи ні за що. Просто максимально крові пролити. Кожна хвилина зволікання – це дитяче життя.
Even a minute of delay, that's a child's life, the life of civilians who are targeted and are not protected, only because some politician did not deliver what they have promised.
Величезний ризик бути вбитим ворожою ракетою, терористичною. Це не жарти, це не якась міфічна боротьба з якимось там вірусом, це не зміна клімату. Кожний день, кожна хвилина – це чиясь кров. Це чиясь кров. І вони, ці політики, вони тягнуть резину. Я не знаю чого. Коли той ленд-ліз підписаний, що нам обіцяно?
Where is the promised lend-lease? We have tons of empty promises of military help. Should I write down these promises and go fight Russia with this list of empty promises? Can I shoot down Russian rockets with these promises also? We have to buy used civilian cars from Europe with our own money because we have no military transportation that was promised. Where are these promised planes? Where are all these promises?
Де протиповітряна оборона? Чого авіація над нами не діє? Де ці всі обіцянки?
Oksana, how would you comment this situation?
Well, as all world mass media showing us every day, especially last couple of weeks, we see more and more anger from Putin, and all anger is very much explainable because he cannot get what he wants. He cannot get what he was planning. Actually, we really don't believe he had real plan, but he is desperate right now because Ukraine did not follow his dream of getting back to new Soviet Union, to Russia, to communist, to terrorist Russia, as he expected. And because of that, our terrible war on the territory of Ukraine is more than 4 months old right now, and we don't see any bright future in, let's say, next few months at all. Because why it happens? Because as even Russians announce, they think they fight in NATO and United States on the territory of Ukraine. They are absolutely open about that, and they don't like all support NATO and United States gives to Ukraine right now. And they think they have rights to bomb our cities, but we have no rights to fire in response. And this is totally nonsense, because that war, it's something totally unusual and crazy in the middle of 21st century. It's not supposed to happen in a center of Europe. And right now, we can trust, or we don't need to trust, all our politicians, mass media, top persons, when they're telling us about great support and great help in numbers, which comes from NATO side and specifically from administration of United States. Yes, part of it is very much appreciated. It's true. It's a really great support we getting, and the main message we want to share with our American friends, that support is great, but it's definitely not enough. All numbers sound very, very good. For example, all America knows about 40 billions of help to Ukraine. Actually, not many of you probably know. We're talking about 6 billion specifically military help. Another maybe 17 millions, another kind of humanitarian help. All the rest goes to different countries, even not even directly to Ukraine. And everything else has totally different purpose, but not direct military help. But that number, 40 billions, is very loud, but that real part of military help to Ukraine, which is 6 billions, very, very quiet. So when we see video like we got today from our friend, he calls himself Friend Major, he's telling us real story. As you see, it's a great looking guy, young man. He's talking to us from trench, from front line in east part of Ukraine. And you can hear it's like not even quiet at the moment he's talking to us. And he's begging for help because, as he said, we have people, we have troops, but we don't have enough weapon to fight. And as he mentioned, I cannot shoot those rockets and missiles from Russian side with AK-47. And he's absolutely right, because it's very easy to spread information with numbers, with intention, with plans. But when we listen to news and they saying us, oh, we're thinking about planning to organize some specific mission to help Ukraine, it doesn't mean it's going to happen next week, or maybe even next month, or maybe at all. The same with lend-lease. how much noise we heard 2 months ago about lend-lease signing by President Biden, about anger of a few days of delay about signing that lend-lease contract. And what happens after that? Almost 2 months, we hear nothing. It means no $1 was spent on that project. Nothing came to Ukraine under that project. And why? We don't know. We don't have answer. Because probably somebody has to follow his signature and do something next day. It means administration in White House has specific reason to delay that help, which would change the whole story of Ukrainian war, Russian-Ukrainian war, in a couple of days probably, but it's not happening. So world has to understand what Ukraine is doing right now. It's very important for whole Europe and for whole world. Why? Because Ukraine always was a buffer pillow between Russia, aggressive terroristic country, and Europe, and even between Russia and the rest of the world. We just happen to have bad neighbor. And now Russia is fighting Ukraine for, we still don't know why. Only one explanation: they just don't want Ukrainian nation to exist. They want Ukrainian goods, Ukrainian land, Ukrainian resources, Ukrainian people to be slave again for new formation of new Soviet Union or something like that, what they want to create. And because of Ukrainian spirit and Ukrainian bravery, it's not happening fast enough. This is why Putin, as a terrorist number one on the planet Earth right now, this is my personal opinion, he is doing everything possible and impossible to kill Ukraine as a country, as a nation, and who is going to be the next? So now we're talking about helping Ukraine, not just for Ukraine. We have to stop that terrorist, number one, to prevent him from ruining the rest of the world. And if it's not happening fast enough, we see it's like chronic disease. So if we want to save Europe, NATO countries, and United States of America from Russian aggression, which is absolutely possible, especially with his mood, angry, crazy rat in a metal box, he will do it. And only way to stop him immediately, stop him drastically, and it's still going to happen on the territory of Ukraine, but it's going to be much cheaper and more convenient for the rest of the world to do it as soon as possible right now. Because if we don't stop Russian aggression in the next, let's say, months, nobody can predict what's going to happen. And helping Ukraine, helping those guys on the front line, it means we helping our civilization. And I hope each American, average American, or person who have some influence on political decisions of our government has to understand and make a call, do some serious action, talk to other people. Whole world has to understand that wave of spirit which can fight Russian aggression has to cover whole world. And there is no shades right now between white and black in a situation between who is good, who is bad. Russia is a country of big aggression. It's a terroristic country. It's a regime which wants to conquer whole world if we're not going to resist. So, dear Americans, dear diaspora Americans, and just Americans who understand what's going on and who trying to resist mass murder situation in Ukraine, please listen to us, do some action to spread right information, And please make calls, make action, make protests, call your senators, call your congressmen. And if you can, what we're doing, we call White House almost every day. And we have to understand, we have to stop Russian aggression on Ukraine and all world right now. Please help us.
Yes, and Ukrainian diaspora will try to organize public meetings at probably at the White House or other cities in the United States. And probably we will organize march protesting against this unjustified delay and misinformation that Ukraine got a lot of money. Ukraine didn't get, as I mentioned before, a lot of money, just 2% from 40 billions. But Ukrainians not even asking money, they're asking to let them borrow or buy or weapons to protect themselves from this aggression. Nobody's asking to send troops. Nobody's asking even a dime. Just give us opportunity to fight back, to protect our children, women, cities. Because every day, every hour, children being killed, city being destroyed, Ukraine being destroyed. And even as our friend Major said, even minutes make a difference. And we know President Biden signed a lend-lease 2 months ago. And he has list since 4 months back. President Zelensky gave him a list what Ukraine need to protect their country. And despite this, there is no reaction, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just want to emphasize one more moment. We miss it. Why Ukraine is in this terrible situation right now? Because we were very honest in our action in 1994 when, according to Budapest Memorandum, Ukraine said, yeah, we're gonna do what you want from us. So we kind of...
Ukraine was had the third biggest arsenal for nuclear weapons, and plus aviation.
Said we're gonna go with your wish, and after that moment, signed in Budapest Memorandum, with assurance from United States and few more countries in the world, Ukraine became totally helpless, and we didn't have any serious nuclear weapon to fight in case something happens. But you see, in that time, we knew we have a not perfect neighbor on the east, but nobody really could imagine it can happen in the way it happened today. So because of that, we trust world, and world disappoint us very much. They did not protect us when Ukrainian war started in 2014, when Russian attacks us with Donbass and Crimea. Now, after 8 years of bloody war, which was kind of chronic war on the east border, now it became a big, almost World War III. So Russian propaganda telling totally different story about what's happening. And I know normal people, good people, never gonna believe that terrible lie, which Russia is very good for a long time, we know that. But truth is very simple. If world has real intention and will to stop Russian aggression, it has to happen as soon as possible. So what's happening right now, we see, we trying, we do whatever to help Ukraine, as our administration is telling us, but they don't make that final move. And quality and quantity makes a difference. To give us a little bit of help every day just to survive, it means nothing, because as that friend Major mentioned, price is too high. But if their final intention is really to stop Putin from that bloody war, to help Ukraine to survive and rebuild, we have to do it as soon as possible, because nobody can say for how long we can hold that line. And that line is held by guys like you see in our video, simple guy who is fighting against physical presence of real enemy with AK-47. We need more, because otherwise whole world will pay big price for that problem.
Thank you so much, Oksana. I just want to remind you, please share this information because it's critical to save children and women in Ukraine as a country. Unfortunately, not too many media knows about this issue and not too many people talking about this. But as I mentioned, chief of a Ukrainian army called about 10 days ago that we're not getting help. He called US officials and still situation is the same. We know that American support Ukrainian and please help us to share this information. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bohdan. Thank you, and say please our big thank you, and just pray for life of that great guy and his colleagues. And what we can say, glory to Ukraine, glory to America, and we will win.